now I would like to invite His Excellency, Mr. Peter Mohan Pieris, Permanent Representative of Sri Lanka, to take the floor.
Thank you, Excellency. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, may I begin by thanking the UN Office of South-South Cooperation for convening this important and timely meeting today, as we celebrate the UN Day for South-South Cooperation. Sri Lanka aligns itself with the statement delivered by the representatives of the Republic of Guinea on behalf of the Group of 77 and China. Excellencies, the COVID-19 pandemic, as has been observed by many of the speakers preceding me, permit me to say, is a humanitarian calamity that has dealt the planet a body blow unparalleled in its history. The economic and social well-being of our nations are threatened as we strive not only to protect the gains we have made so far in achieving the 2030 agenda and the SDGs, but has also threatened the very trajectory of the action plan of achieving greater and faster development and the SDGs. In this context, Sri Lanka welcomes the theme for the year, South-South Cooperation, solidarity in support of a more inclusive, resilient, and sustainable future that has emphasized the cooperation within the Global South as we recover better altogether. The pre-existing vulnerabilities of the Global South can no longer be ignored in this phase of recovery and inclusivity. We have experienced trade, technology, supply chain gaps, but none more so than the access to vaccines. While most developed countries have vaccinated 70% of their population, some developing nations and the LDCs have vaccinated only 2 to 5% of their population, whilst having great difficulty getting access to vaccines. It would therefore be prudent to ask how we, as a global community, allowed this level of inequality to persist, even with all the advances we made in achieving the 2030 agenda. Sri Lanka, whilst recognizing and appreciating the bilateral and multilateral arrangements in providing vaccines to our citizens, would like to underline the importance of reiterating the voice of the South against vaccine nationalism, as I would describe it, and join the UN Secretary General's call for making the vaccines a global public good. Excellencies, in this context, it is vital to explore further alliances in order to overcome these challenges. However, it is important to underline that South-South cooperation, as was observed before, is not a substitute for official development assistance or a stand-in for the responsibilities of other stakeholders in the allocation of finances and further development. In this vein, the onus of action and accountability must be with individual stakeholders. Your Excellencies, the principles of South-South cooperation undoubtedly emphasizes this point. Urgent action by respective stakeholders in all its levels in order to reverse the economic, social, and health setbacks is, I say, vital. Sri Lanka has implemented its national plan for climate change to ensure a secure future for our citizens by minimizing the impacts of climate change on human life, ecosystems, national assets, and the economy. Sri Lanka will be pleased to share its experience on mangrove conservation, which would help promote economic prosperity in coastal communities, fostering sustainable livelihoods that are environmentally resilient and sequestering carbon credit. It is timely that we together explore further possible collaboration and measures for assisting small countries with pandemic recovery and vaccination programs, encouraging growth of foreign employment opportunities and promoting eco-tourism in the health sectors. South-South cooperation has taken many forms, and we have a rife of examples of that. Developing countries today face the multiple interlinked financial, climate, and development crises. As the development gap between rich and poor countries grows and inequality deepens, never before has South-South cooperation at all levels been more essential at all levels in all fields of international and domestic endeavor as developing countries seek individually and collectively to meet current global challenges together with developed countries. South-South cooperation, Excellencies, in the overall context of multilateralism is a continuing process, vital to confront the challenges faced by the South. It is a valuable contribution to development and as such needs to be strengthened, including through enhancing the capacities of the institutions and the arrangements that promote such cooperation. South-South cooperation is essential as a strategy to sustain the development efforts of developing countries and a means of enhancing their participation in the emerging global economy. South-South cooperation is the responsibility of the South. It lays the foundation for an effective and productive engagement on an equal footing by the countries of the South with the North. The development assistance of developed countries should be premised on and be consistent, I say, with a strong foundation of South-South cooperation. Such an engagement is necessary in order for the global community as a whole to be able to address global challenges and crises in a coordinated, collaborative, and effective way. Excellencies, to participate effectively in shaping multilateral rules and relationships to the mutual benefit of all countries, South-South policy coordination at the international level is a sine qua non. Common South-South approaches and positions that are premised on common development-oriented perspectives and concerns, while at the same time respecting the varied and heterogeneous development experiences of developing countries are essential, I say, in shaping the conditions under which development support from developed countries and international agencies can become more effective. Excellencies, in conclusion, Sri Lanka reiterates its dedication to the fulfillment of BAPA Plus 40 document, which also facilitates regional integration through a triangular cooperation for collective actions in overcoming our common threats in formulating strategies for implementation of the 2030 agenda. We also acknowledge the work and able stewardship of Mr. Del Abdel Latif, our director ad interim of the United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation, for his commitment to leading a more vibrant South-South agenda. I wish you success and be assured that we will be with you shoulder to shoulder in developing our South-South agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, Permanent Representative of Sri Lanka, for your statement and for your kind words and your continuous support for the United Nations Office for South-South Cooperation. Now I would